Hi, I'm Harley Quinn.
And I'm Grumpy Care Bear.
So grumpy. Well, this is our Halloween edition of Between Two Filing Cabinets.
That's right. We've got some tricks, treats, and maybe some scary HR stories today.
Yeah, you want to start off with the scares since it's Halloween?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mystery I'll share with you today, Jenna, and perhaps you can kind of give us some potential resolution for it. Okay. So, an organization I once worked with, we had an issue where somebody, how should I say this, was leaving their boogers in the bathroom. Yeah, I don't know how to say it. It was known as the mystery of the booger bandit.
Oh, a nickname.
A nickname. Well, it went on for a couple years.
A couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And somebody would just kind of aggressively put that on the wall in the restroom.
How did they find out about it? I mean, for 2 years, you think someone would have said something?
I think it was a couple years. No, people were saying something, but I don't think that messaging was well received. What would you do in that type of a situation? I mean, would you address it head on, send out kind of a mass communication? Would you do a sting operation?
Yeah, I mean, maybe initially you would want to have a quick response just to remind people about how to maintain the facilities and to say we've been made aware that there is some potentially inappropriate behavior happening. People are leaving things, not keeping it clean.
Okay.
Perhaps even leaving things on the walls, not leaving it in a manner that we expect of employees. Please make sure that you maintain the facilities in an appropriate way. That doesn't always work, though.
No.
I can think of a situation that I had with a company where similar things were being left on the wall, probably a little bit more extreme.
Uh-oh.
And it was pretty disgusting. And they had to actually kind of do a sting operation where, they were monitoring the bathroom and how it was not like they had cameras or anything that would not be legal, but they were had someone who would go into the restroom to see what it was like, and then someone who would frequently visit to see when this activity was happening. So they were able to at least narrow it down to a group of people who then they could talk with.
Suspects.
Yeah, exactly. So then they could talk with them individually.
Wow, could you imagine getting hauled into that conversation when you didn't do anything?
Right. Yeah, you would probably
me,
be a little horrified by that. But it's the things that people do at work sometimes is just not cool.
Right.
Scary.
Yeah, no, these would be the lighter side of HR, so very scary, so pretty Halloween appropriate. What about you, Jenna? Do you have any other kind of scary tales?
Yeah, I have one, hearing you say that story made me think of one that involved a supervisor.
Oh, dear.
Who would invite people into their office to have various meetings and would close the door and proceed to pass gas.
Oh, no.
And it wasn't, they weren't really even shy about it. And it happened to multiple people. And finally someone complained. And they had to do an investigation. And this person just thought, oh, it's kind of funny and it's just a joke and I didn't mean anything by it. But clearly crossing the line.
Yeah.
Then they did it to many people, so it's not like it was targeted at just one person. But yeah.
It's amazing what you deal with. I mean, or what kind of stories come in. I mean,
Yeah.
how do you respond to that?
Right.
What do you say?
Yeah, sometimes you just kind of have to choke your laughter, maybe.
Well, because it's so uncomfortable.
It's so uncomfortable, but sometimes it's so unbelievable. Like, really? A real person did this? Someone in a leadership position did this? But obviously, they had to talk with that person about their behavior and make sure that it immediately stopped and that they were aware of what the consequences would be should it continue. I didn't hear back from them, so hopefully that was the end of it.
Well, I mean, in case you do, this happens more than we would like to think. So, if, you're dealing with a similar gross issue, then you're not alone.
Right.
So maybe words to say would be something like, from a communication standpoint, sometimes passing gas is funny and this is not, so, or sometimes,
See, good thing she's much more composed than I am.
it would be hard not to giggle in that situation, but yeah, pretty serious stuff.
Yeah, you might have to practice that conversation
I would have to practice
a few times, but
Yeah. And
But-
I don't think the Grumpy Bear costume would be good in
No.
that scenario.
No,
No.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
You would have to put on the hood and say,
At least I could cover my face for the interaction.
Yeah, but we actually, it is kind of nice. Sometimes our members will call us with these difficult, like, how do I talk to this person about their breath or their body odor? And I mean, those are real legitimate issues that can be scary. And we provide that guidance, a lot,
Yeah.
because sometimes people just need the guidance of, like, what do I say? And we can take you through it, prep you for that conversation.
We absolutely can, but a little note to so sometimes it's a good way to begin that conversation
Right.
because you don't want to make that person feel like they're always having an issue. So maybe, sometimes your breath is a little too noticeable.
Right, yeah. Good rule of thumb is to avoid those words always,
Oh, yeah,
never.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, we want to leave you with just a little bit of guidance since it is Halloween. And if your organization is allowing Halloween costumes, probably a good time to remind your employees about keeping it work appropriate.
So, Jenna, what does that mean, though? Some people need it spelled out a little bit.
Right. So you want it to align really with your harassment policy, I would say, for the most part. So nothing obscene, probably nothing violent, nothing culturally insensitive,
True.
or towards religious or any of those protected class issues involved. We want to make sure that we're avoiding those types of things. So good time to just kind of maybe send out a memo to say, these are our expectations. Kind of like what I got from my daughter's school. A little note came home and said, hey, Halloween costumes are allowed if people want to, but here's our provisions for that. And then just a reminder of the harassment policy. Sometimes people will say inappropriate things that are offensive, make people uncomfortable, sexually related, when people are sort of in their costumes and kind of outside the normal environment.
Right. Well, good to know because, we like having fun, clearly here. We like dressing up. So a little bit of tips for that.
All right, well, we're going to file this one under tricks and treats.
That sounds good. Or nightmares. Nightmare, scary scenario.
That might be better. All right, well, we'll see you on our next episode. Thank you.
Thanks.